you could just take
Right
our
in the
clap that we've recorded and
shoulder.
just reuse it
Gotta pull out that arrow.
every week.
Or knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot arrows
sure.
in the knee.
And you don't put knives in shoulders.
No.
All right, we're live.
Did you ever read Julius Caesar? Did you ever read Caesar, the Shakespearean play?
I've popped out the Shah.
Oh shit, I forgot to do that.
E.T. 2
Pop out the
brute.
chat. Pop it out.
I get it. It's like that song.
We just got DMCA.
Wait a minute.
Damn it.
There's a smokescreen masterpiece transformer. Oh, man.
That's been out for
I know,
time,
but
if
I didn't know
remember
it
correctly.
existed. I might have to get that.
Really? Big,
Smokescreen was my favorite.
see, every Transformer is someone's favorite, man. Because
Every
I
one. Yeah.
have never. I mean, I've obviously met someone who likes Smokescreen, but I was never aware that.
You know why? The main reason. So two things.
Is
One,
it the
he's a
same
race car.
reason? Is it
He's a
the
race
same
car.
reason I like Skywarp because he has cool colors?
He's a race car with cool colors,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was my first Autobot
Okay, there you go.
because he was race. Like I wanted him because he turned into like a. Well,
Yeah.
it's a Nissan here. I thought it was more like a Porsche at the time, but
Yeah,
turns into a race car with a cool color scheme. Because I
Right.
mean, he wasn't particularly big on the show in any way.
Oh, no,
he
no.
was there.
No.
But that's why I wanted him, and he was the first Autobot I ever got.
well, there you go.
But
That's the same.
the Starscream was the first Transformer I ever got.
Oh, so yeah. But I mean,
Plus, Starscream is just awesome. I mean,
Starscream. There was characterization, and
Yeah.
people know what
Yeah,
Starscream is.
Smokescreen. I couldn't even tell you what his voice sounded like. I couldn't tell
Right.
you what he was about, what his thing was in the show.
Yeah,
But I just liked the colors. I liked the
course.
transformation, and I really liked all those. Like the Autobots had really cool transformations.
they did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same. Like I really dig Skywarp, who had
Yeah,
zero
because colors.
characterization on the show. He was always just like the thug behind Starscream. But he has the coolest color scheme out of all the jets.
Yes,
So
agreed.
so there you go. That's why
And a great name.
Oh, absolutely.
All the Jets had great names. Though.
Yeah, they really did. My I think my first Autobot car of the the cars, I think was Blue Streak. So I have kind of a weird affinity towards
he's
Blue
the same
Streak.
transformation as Smokescreen, right?
yeah.
I think there were three of them. Were there three of them that were?
It's
Blue Streak and Smokescreen were this game, but I thought there was a third.
Prowl.
Prowl.
Was the same. Yeah, it was Prowl and Smokescreen.
And I lie. He was not my first Autobot.
Oh,
Ratchet
really?
was my first Autobot, but he
Oh,
sucked.
okay.
So I don't
Yeah,
really
that
have
toy
an
was
affinity for
that toy
him.
was not great.
Yeah.
That toy was not great, but Ratchet had a lot of characterization. Some in the
That was
cartoon.
kind of the frustrating bit is Ratchet and Ironhide especially
Yeah,
was such a big character in the show.
yeah.
And his toy was just garbage.
Oh yeah. Well, and I read the Marvel comics, which Ratchet was a huge character.
Oh, really?
Ratchet at one point in the comics had a like multi-issue arc where he was battling Megatron,
Wow.
which ended it like just the two of them, and it ended with I think he blew up a space bridge. Like Ratchet was he blew up a space bridge to kill both of them just to get rid of Megatron, but the explosion ended up fusing the two of them. So it was like the right side of his body was Megatron and the left side was Ratchet,
Cool.
and they were just this shambling zombie for a couple issues. It was nuts. That
That's
comic got
awesome.
crazy at times.
It's too bad the Ratchet and Ironhide toys sucked.
Oh, they were terrible. They were terrible.
All right, we got our Transformers.
And that's
talk
our
out of the
show
way.
for this week. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm gonna
Done.
go over here and look up the Smokescreen masterpiece.
See how much the Smokescreen
Probably
masterpiece is
too
going
much.
for. I don't remember when that. I think that came out maybe a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly.
That's only $80. Not bad.
Which is actually kind of on par
It comes
for.
it comes with smoke.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, it comes
Just
with
like you open
Just-
the box and just mist.
no, it's
Bills out?
like hard plastic billowed smoke that you
Oh,
can put
nice.
around it.
Oh, that's
That's
cute.
funny.
Okay, that's pretty great.
And actually, for the Autobot car masterpiece toys, $80 is about the standard price. So
Yeah, it's not bad.
yeah, so it's
You're
you're
still
not getting,
around after Christmas. I might get one.
you're not getting raked over the coals on that.
We can
There
start the
you
show
go.
anytime, CJ.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just
waiting for
ears.
you.
Hello and welcome to episode 733 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You ready for your Black Friday holiday coming up
Black
this week?
Friday holiday.
Well, sure you do.
No.
Every Black Friday is celebrated
tell you
around
what.
the world.
I'll tell you what. Cases are spiking a little bit here.
Oh,
and they've announced that they're tightening some restrictions starting tomorrow as we record this. So, boy, were the shopping areas crazy today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Because you got the standard rush for supplies. Excuse me, but Christmas.
Right.
I know that I was rushing around trying to get a bunch of Christmas shopping done today,
Yeah.
just because I'm so worried that they're going to shut things down.
Right. And joining
Then
me
I changed my
from the
mind
great
and
state
decided no one's getting anything. So
of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
The best thing about these pandemics and people rushing out to stores.
Multiple pandemics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, how high can you go? Huh?
Do we need another one after this?
I mean,
I'll be fair. To be fair, America has perfected this
to
one.
be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
My
My favorite joke from SCTV.
To be fair, America has perfected this pandemic. I mean, you guys have
Absolutely.
gone above
Well,
and beyond.
We're trying.
You've done better than anyone else.
I mean,
Well,
It is the most effective.
it is a
pandemic.
holiday week coming up, and there's going to be a lot of people traveling. And oh god,
Greg, this is what we call our manifest destiny.
Mhm.
If you've studied
American
American history,
exceptionalism.
Something
that's
with
us,
that.
man. That is us.
Yes, you are proving
Don't
it.
tread on me. No taxation without representation. Tippecanoe and Tyler 2.
I don't know about you.
I don't
Phil,
know that one.
but Thanksgiving this year we're just gonna spend it at home here, eating a
Yeah.
nice turkey dinner.
Yeah.
That's
What do
it.
you normally do?
Well, go back to
Usually we
Illinois,
travel
wouldn't you?
somewhere
Really?
to some
Go
like
back to
I
visit
went
one of the
to-
families?
visit my parents last year.
Yeah, that's a sucker's holiday.
Yeah.
A holiday where I have to leave my house is nary a holiday
It's
at
not really
all.
a holiday.
Yeah.
Just more work.
That is me
true.
having to travel. No, we are doing the same thing. Did we go back? I don't think we went back last year.
Yeah, no,
No, I don't think we
I don't
did.
think so.
No, I vowed a couple
To
years
never
ago.
see your family again.
I mean, if I can get away with it. I will not travel to Illinois in the winter time or in the
That's
fall. I just no
that's just a
No,
good
I
policy.
got
to
no
have
need
just
for
in
it.
general.
no need
Just in
for it.
general.
Last place I want to be in the winter is Chicago. Sorry, Chicago.
I don't blame you. I'll tell you, my
Yeah.
first Chicago winter was a wake-up call.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
did
not
not
great.
expect it to be as bitter as it was.
Well, it gets a little chilly by the lake.
I also didn't expect so many Chicagoans not to know how to drive in the snow.
Oh no,
That was weird.
That's
yeah,
a definite.
it's not great. Yeah, but no, yeah, we're holding
Just
up
hanging
here.
out,
We're just
playing video games.
playing some video games, watching some televised visions on the TV set.
Hey, you're gonna turn on PBS and watch Charlie Brown Thanksgiving instead of paying Apple for it.
Well, I mean, like I own a copy of Charlie Brown Thanksgiving,
whatever.
so I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
guess you do.
I could have watched that
watch it
back
anytime
in
you want.
June, man.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Spoiler alert: his ramshackle Thanksgiving meal is actually
Brings everyone closer together.
beloved by all. Yeah, really, kind of
Who would've thought?
ties a bow on the holiday. So
Who would have thought?
you know what? People just got to believe in old Chuck. He just might surprise you.
Yep.
So, although that is good, that they are like Apple's not holding the specials hostage.
But it's
anymore.
only for the Thanksgiving special, right? Or did they say for all of them?
I believe.
I think they're doing.
I think
Christmas
they-
too.
Because
they-
Christmas would be nice.
Yeah, they say Christmas as well. Although you know what, you are not going to find a bigger Peanuts fan in the video game podcastosphere than I.
That's true. That's probably true. Yeah.
But Do kids today care about peanut specials? I can't imagine.
Their
they
My
do.
parents
kids
do.
love the Charlie Brown specials.
Do they really?
Oh my god.
Do they?
I mean, that probably has a lot to do with the fact that I love them, so
Right.
I would watch them either way.
Right.
but yeah, they really look forward to
Yeah,
them.
Finn doesn't really get into it, and it's certainly not for lack of me sitting around watching them.
It's
Yeah.
and I know it was actually
He's more of
the
a
specials-
diehard type Christmas special.
No, Ziggy's
Fan.
Gift.
Ziggy's Gift.
He really. If it's Thanksgiving, he wants to watch BC's First Thanksgiving, and if it's Christmas, he wants to watch Ziggy's Gift, and if it's Halloween, he wants to watch a Garfield Halloween Adventure.
No
Which, you
Family
know,
Circus.
Who can blame him? I think Family Circus, I believe, had an Easter special
Did they?
and maybe a Christmas one. I can't remember.
You know what? Yes, there was a Family Circus. No, not Family Circus. For better or for
They
worse,
definitely
is what
had
I'm
a-
thinking of.
Oh, really?
They had a Christmas special about Liz was the daughter's name, and she had a little bunny
I don't.
that she lost in the
Okay.
special, and the
Okay.
whole thing on the special was her getting it back.
I never read For Better or for Worse.
I used to
really.
read it.
No.
That's Canadian, right? Am I correct?
Maybe?
Better or for Worse, I think might be a Canadian strip.
What was weird about that strip is that
maybe-
the characters actually aged.
Right.
Like year over year, they got older and they
Yeah.
had families. and
Oh.
Yeah.
it was interesting. No, I was going to say the Charlie Brown Christmas special, I think, was in the local news last year or the year before,
Yeah.
because one of the members of the Vince Guaraldi trio,
Yes.
Vince Guaraldi trio, who did all the music
Right.
for the specials, was
Yes.
from Halifax or lived in Halifax.
Is that right?
Oh.
And I
that's
believe
cool.
he passed away a couple of years
Oh,
ago, but
that's
he
too
used
bad.
to do, which I wish I'd known, but he used to do a concert every holiday.
Oh, really?
Where he would play. It was just a concert of all the music from the Peanuts
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
that's cool.
specials, and like local choirs would go and sing as well and everything. And I found out too late. I was like, oh man, I would have loved to have gone and seen
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Ah.
So
I thought you
yeah.
were going to talk about the voice actor for Charlie Brown in those old specials.
No.
All I want is my
He-
fair share. All I want is, yeah. Because they were all
That
kids.
wasn't,
They were
that
all like,
wasn't Charlie Brown. That was
They were all
Sally.
kids at the
that was Sally. Yeah, they were all like 4 and 5-year-old kids.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I am no pianist. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But from what I understand, the Linus and Lucy theme is surprisingly difficult to play on a piano.
Well, I mean, you had a professional trio of musicians doing.
Well,
it.
What about
obviously.
in Rock Band? How is it?
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's in Rock Band.
yeah, I mean,
Although that
it's,
would
it's,
be
it's
Rock Band
Did-
3.
did Rock Band have? They didn't have
Rock
like
Band
a-
3 had a keyboard, yeah.
Did it have a keyboard element?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
The guitar. Remember the
Yeah.
guitar?
Oh yeah,
The
that's right. I
guitar,
had the guitar.
Which I have
still have mine
sitting behind
unopened.
me.
Okay.
I never opened mine.
Linus and Lucy, of course, is that's the song that everyone considers the Peanuts theme.
Yeah, which is the one that, which I don't know if is it called Linus and Lucy because the Christmas theme, the Christmas special was the first one, right? They didn't do the
Yes.
Halloween one first.
No,
Because I was going to say, if the Halloween one had been first, I mean, that's the first music you hear because it's Linus and Lucy in the first scene,
Right,
right?
right.
So, I'm trying to think what the first scene is. The Christmas special, though, is it them as well?
I think it might be Chuck going to see Lucy at the.
No, the first scene is him going to the opening music is when they're singing Christmas Time. Is
Oh
Here.
yeah, no, yeah, that's right. Because they're skating.
Right.
Yeah, it opens with them skating.
Them skating.
It opens with them
yes.
skating on the lake. Yeah, and
Yes,
it starts
okay.
with Christmas Time is here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But yeah, very iconic music.
yeah, absolutely.
Indeed. All right, should we get
There's no
to
news this week, so we can just talk about this.
Yeah,
junk
why
all
the
day.
not?
news? There's a couple things.
But it was too late. Frosty had already melted away.
Is that the John Goodman version?
No. Happy birthday! I freaking love that Frosty special.
That's another one that we always watch. We
Mhm.
my kids all love that.
Who's
one
got the
too.
streaming rights for that one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
All right, so let's do some video game news real quick.
Fine.
IO Interactive, the developers of the Hitman franchise,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
they announced their next project, and it is a 007 game.
Hitman
James Bond.
007.
007.
So is there a new movie coming out soon? I don't pay
I
attention
don't
to.
know.
Bond
There were
anymore.
rumors about casting at various times, but I don't think I've heard that there's a new one coming out soon.
I never saw Spectre.
Right.
and I couldn't tell you much about the latest run of James Bond films besides Casino Royale.
I
Me
believe
either, yeah.
I've only seen 2 James Bond movies in my life.
Really?
Love.
What?
I think I own all of the Casino Royale. I have Casino Royale on Blu-ray, but before that, I bought. There was an old DVD set you could get that was all the Bond films.
Yes,
Right.
I bought that. I used to love Bond films.
Yeah, I never. I think part of it is because like my parents were never into it, so I never watched them as a kid.
Yeah,
and just like, they never really had much interest to me. I went and saw.
and yet you've seen how many Austin Powers movies?
I've
seen all of them.
I've seen 3.
So you've
There you
seen
go.
more
There's
Austin Powers.
There's
movies
apparently a
than
Bond movie
007.
coming, but COVID delayed it.
But I mean, Austin Powers movies. I mean, I enjoyed the first one, but the second 2 are terrible. Just
they are
awful. And
The first one is so much fun.
Well, I haven't seen the first one since it probably came out on DVD, so I don't even
holds
know.
up.
Does it
I
hold
watched
up?
it recently. I mean, you know, it's a little cringeworthy in spots, but it's
sure.
overall, it's Mike Myers.
I just remember back in the day, the second 2 were the first movie, but shittier,
but bad. Same jokes.
Yeah,
except not good.
But I went and saw. I forget the name of it. It was the one with Michelle Yeoh in it. Okay. And the only reason I went to see it was because Michelle Yeoh was in it.
That was when was that still when Pierce Brosnan was?
That was Pierce Brosnan. It was No One Lives Forever.
Speaking of which, I thought about
Tomorrow Never Dies.
I thought about this movie recently because something in the news they were finally tearing down that giant dish that's in Goldeneye.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, they apparently
Tomorrow Never Dies is the one.
It was Tomorrow Never. Okay. I got second try. I got it. And then I saw.
I still remember that.
No One Lives Forever is a game, right?
Yeah, No One Lives Forever is a game.
Oh yeah, that's the game. Yeah, which is
it's
not even a Bond game. Right?
It's not a Bond game, but it's in like rights hell and will never be re-released on.
The one
anything.
it's got the.
Oh really?
Like
I didn't know that.
It's like kind of the like 60s like lady spy, right?
Yes.
Is that the one I'm thinking
of? It's a good game.
I've heard it
was good.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Never be re-released because the IP is being fought over.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, IO Interactive. Kind of staying within their wheelhouse there. I kind of think I would imagine this Bond game will play similar to Hitman on at least some level.
Yeah.
The Bond. The Hitman games are great. Anyway, Hitman 3 coming out in January.
Okay.
So, very interesting stuff.
Well,
the other news, you can tell it's a slow news week because the second thing on the outline here is that Google Stadia is bundling the service in Cyberpunk 2077. So
you'd almost
that
think
means
that the companies just released their giant systems that were taking up all the news, and
I know, right?
Now what do we have to talk about?
I know, right? But
so
hot on the heels of we'll give you Stadia free if you have YouTube Premium, which I did not take advantage of at all. Comes a deal where you buy Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia and you get the premium bundle, so you get the Chromecast Ultra and controller.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's available while supplies last because.
I'm going to go ahead and guess
platform.
I'm going to guess that supplies are going to last a while,
or until December 17th, whichever. Goes first.
Okay. I'm going to we're going to hit that December 17th window, and then they'll have to figure out another game.
We'll have to do something else.
What's the next big game that we can give these away with?
I don't know.
Maybe what they should just do is send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll send you a Stadia.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
But of course, Cyberpunk is like what, $60, 60 bones on your Stadia store.
Yeah.
Then you get the rest of the stuff for free. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's all the news.
Wow.
I know it's as if new platforms were launched a week ago.
Has Sony
in some countries, the PS5 just came out this past week, and I hear that Greg Stewart also celebrated the UK launch instead of the.
Oh, did I really? Was that?
No. But you got yours last week instead of the week before.
Yeah. So I can talk about PS5 this week.
Did Sony fix the external hard drive thing yet? Do we know?
I'm afraid to find out.
I know, right?
I don't
I
know,
know
that
that,
there's any definitive. There was a software update this week, but
Yeah.
it didn't have any patch notes. It just
No, it just says, hey,
said
we-
fixes.
That's what you like to see.
yeah.
So- Although Spider-Man Remastered, which is the title that people said they were having a problem with,
right.
there was an update to that last night.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Fixes the rest mode crash.
Oh, does it? Okay.
That
That's good.
issue that people were having with that is supposedly fixed.
Good.
Yeah, all I
Which
know
means
is
I started
that your best friend Mike's best friend Jim, he uses an external drive, but when he's finished playing anything, he removes the drive like through the system.
Oh yeah.
Unplugs it and then and make sure there's no games running and then powers the whole thing down, like full power down.
So is there like a
there's an eject?
There's
like
an
a
eject
safe.
the drive.
Yeah, it's like
Where,
it's
in the
safely
settings.
removed somewhere in settings. I don't know.
Settings,
Because
storage,
I'm afraid to
external
even connect one.
storage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in there.
Well, that's good to know.
So one of the things too, talking about these systems, technical issues, and I've actually run into this. I asked you guys, but neither of you apparently have seen it. Is my Series X? I'm noticing if I leave it sitting on dashboard or if I'm streaming video, it will blank out every minute or so.
Oh,
It just goes to a blank screen, almost like it's a resolution switch or something.
Oh,
You know how like modern TVs deal with resolution switches is usually. I mean, I don't know what the technical process is behind it, but it's almost like it's almost like it loses signal and it has to do the handshake with HDMI again to get the signal back.
How do you get
it
it to stop doing that?
I don't know. One of the theories I've heard is that it's
So other people are
variable.
experiencing this?
Yeah, it's variable
Shit.
refresh rate.
huh.
That's that setting that's causing it. But yeah, it's I actually had somebody in my stream mention it earlier this week too, and then I went online and there are I don't know if it's a widespread problem, but it's wide enough that there are threads about it out there where it's like I don't know how to fix this. So I haven't, but it doesn't, for me anyway, it's never happened during gameplay. It's only on the dashboard, and it's only when if I like fire up Netflix or YouTube or whatever and streaming video, it'll do it.
Did you hear? I forget which. John Linneman on Twitter was talking about. I think it was him about Dark Soul or Demon Souls on PS5, about how it turns off his receiver at times because of the graphic, and I couldn't help but think,
oh my god!
I heard about this PS2 game that Namco made.
Help but think about that story.
That turns off your TV because the graphics get too intense.
We were so ahead of our time
with Demon Souls, where it actually going through his receiver, it would turn off the receiver. Yes,
really? Oh no,
that's amazing.
So these new consoles, apparently the graphics are so good that it turns off your system. I'll link to that tweet in the show notes.
We were ahead of our time. My goodness.
I mean, isn't that kind of our thing?
Yeah.
Stupid jokes we make a year later come true, or 10 years, 20 years later come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Greg, I'm interested to hear what your experience with PS5 is, but I did want to highlight something that Phil, I think you tweeted about this as well. So we've both been playing Astro Bot's Playroom or Astro Playroom.
This is the notification thing.
This is the notification thing where you turn on the system and you have 16 notifications that people have beaten you in the leaderboards on Astro Bot, and it's just like, how can I turn that off?
I know.
I literally just wanted the trophy. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, because it's like I turn on my PS5 and I'm just like, I'll like a notification will pop up for like, oh, the Spider-Man got an update.
Yeah.
And I'll well, I'm going to check the notifications, see if anything else got updated.
At least when you turn on your system for the first time in a day or whatever, it'll group them together. It'll say you have 12 notifications.
Right.
You press the button and then most of those are Astro Bot.
Well, that's what it is. And I'm just like, well, I want to see what these notifications are. Did other things get updated or whatever? And sure enough, it's just a list of here are all the people who bypassed your score in the time trials in Astro Bot, and not even like, CJ beat 4 of your levels. It's like, oh, CJ beat this level. CJ beat you in this level. He beat you in this level.
It's a separate notification for each thing.
Oh man,
they gotta fix that.
And people are, I mean, I'm glad to see people are playing Astro Bot, and I'm glad to see people are enjoying Astro Bot.
Yes,
and I'm glad to see that people are getting competitive, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter where people are like, recording their runs as they go through, and it's very impressive to see, and it's great. And I'm glad they are having fun trying to best each other's times. But I got my trophy. I don't care. That's the only.
You can't turn off
the only time I'm going
notifications
to touch those.
like per game either, or like per feature in a game. So it's
it's just like they got to do something, because
they got to do something before more games start using that feature.
Because man, I don't care.
And I am kind of glad that I culled my my PlayStation, my PSN friend list down to like, now it's like 100. It's 100 people or something like that. I culled everybody out of that list. If I had left it with the number that I had before, it would have been crazier.
Yeah.
But so Greg,
a lot of work.
You got your system finally. Give us your impressions.
It is ugly.
It's big. It's big and I agree. It's ugly. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks awful. I'm sorry. I can't. I know some people
better
like
in vertical orientation.
Yes, it's clearly built to look better in vertical orientation.
Yeah.
I was saying to somebody earlier this week, like it's funny. First of all, it sticks out like a sore thumb on my entertainment center, because everything else on my entertainment center except for like the NT Mini is black.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Series X looks particularly good either, but it's just a big black box, and because of its color, it just kind of blends into everything. So I don't really see it. But like the PS5 is an eyesore.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me too, because I'm sitting right next to my entertainment center. So the PS5 is literally like right here to my left. And this is where I sit when I work. And every now and then during the first couple of days that I had it, because I wasn't used to it being there, it would I would catch it, my peripheral vision, and my brain would process it. I mean, as you can probably see behind me, I have 3 kids. So there's a lot of stuff piled in places, and it's never piled nicely. And it's not uncommon for like a piece of paper or something. Like I can see a pile over there where there's a bunch of paper over top of something. And because it's not piled nicely, the paper's not smoothly sitting there in a stack. It's kind of just strewn about. And that's what my brain was processing this thing as when I would catch it out of the corner of my eye, was that there's just a big pile of junk here with a piece of paper sitting on top of it. But anyway, barring that, it's fantastic. The controller, wow.
Right?
Like,
it's pretty neat.
And of course, Astro Bot. First of all, I don't think I can talk about my experience with the system without talking about Astro Bot, which I know we're not doing.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. We'll go into what you've been playing, and you start. Go.
And you guys talked about this last week, and so I was expecting it to be great because I love Astro Bot anyway. Especially since Rescue Mission, it's such a great game, and I love that it's kind of become he's becoming a bit of a de facto PlayStation mascot, but he's also being used to show off hardware features.
Yeah,
right. Because I mean, the first Astro Bot, that's what it was all about, was to show off the touchpad and the different things you could do on the PS4 with the camera and everything, and then of course with the VR with the Rescue Mission. But like, I just love that they decided to do a controller tech demo that literally uses every single feature in this controller. Wrapped it in a wonderful little platform game that celebrates 25 years of the brand's history on top of everything else. So it's like, even when you're not doing anything, there's something to see that you're looking at and goes, oh, I recognize that. And it's like, oh, that's Devil May Cry, and that's Dad of Boy, and that's just and some of them I didn't even recognize. There's Parappa, and it's fantastic. And then collecting all the bits and pieces, like all the different artifacts they're called. Phil described it perfectly last week. There was never a point in that game that I wasn't smiling.
Oh yeah.
And especially I think it's great because it's super cute. So my kids all love it too. But like for old men like us who still have vivid memories of the launch of the first PlayStation, it's kind of a love letter to that brand, which has been so strong for 25 years. What an amazing pack-in. Like just what a great way to show off this amazing new controller. The rumble and the triggers on this thing are like, there's nothing like it. I can take or leave the touchpad stuff. I can take or leave motion gaming. I don't hate it. I don't love it. You know, I was happy to get through those sections in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the triggers, especially in those sections where you're piloting it's almost like Solar Jetman, where you're piloting a little ship. Like, they just feel amazing. They do. They feel amazing. It's awesome. It's so cool. So, I mean, that's, you know, my main excuse me, my main experience with the system. Although I will go back to the physical system again. So
yeah,
I was actually playing Gran Turismo with our Player One Podcast League on Friday. So I had my wheel plugged in to the front USB port. Oh, I will say I love the fact that there are 2 USB ports on the back of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hated that all the USB was in the front of the PS4. Anyway, I had it plugged into the USB port in the front, and I'd forgotten to unplug it, and I moved the wheel, and I just about pulled my PlayStation off the shelf.
Really?
And that's my fault. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't help but think that it would have been nice if this gargantuan piece of machinery had more contact with the surface it was sitting on than that tiny little puck that it's sitting on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I might still have pulled it off.
You have the system vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal. I can't sit it vertical. It'll be a foot up into my television screen.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I mean, the system's heavy. You probably wouldn't have pulled it out.
Well, I pulled it pretty far. Anyway, you know, that's neither here nor there. But it does make it unstable. Like, I find, like, you know, if somebody presses on it, it tilts. It's just not a nice system design, especially if you've got to be sitting it horizontally. But I will say that, like, on Friday, the thing was on pretty much all day, and it was always running something, and it was cool to the touch at the end of the day too. And it's whisper quiet, like, you know, whereas my PS4, after 2 minutes, sounded like a jet engine. You know, like it just the fan wound up, and
so I've not heard any fan noise from either machine.
Yeah,
same time. Although I have heard that the PS5 has coil whine.
Coil whine, yeah, I've heard that too. But I will say too that the Series X puts out way more heat, but maybe it's just because of the orientation of the system, where it's like a chimney. You know, like I find even in idle, it's putting out a lot of heat. But I mean,
and
between
the Series
S
as well kind of gets
does it really?
stays warm to the touch. Even
is that when you're using the big speaker on the front? Is that when it gets warm?
Yeah, actually, that's the exhaust.
And then the other game that I've been playing all week, which I heard you finished, is Miles Morales.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And I to talk about that game, I have to say that I think the biggest problem with the Series X, I haven't touched the Series X since the PS5 got here.
Sure.
My God, that system needed Halo at launch. And not because it's Halo. Honestly, it could have been anything. But I'm saying Halo because that was going to be the big flagship. That system needed a new flagship game so badly.
Yeah.
And because it didn't, like, you know, Sea of Thieves ran great, looked beautiful, nice and smooth. Forza Horizon 4 runs great, looks beautiful, nice and smooth. I've been playing both those games for years. And, like, when you look at something like Miles Morales, it's a game from, what was it, 2017 that came out? 2018? Spider-Man? The first Spider-Man came out?
2018, I believe, yeah.
So, I mean, technically, you're still playing the bones of a 2-year-old game.
Sure.
But the fact that it's a completely new story, and then they updated the combat, you know what I mean? Like, it feels new.
Looks so good.
So
yeah,
good.
It really does.
So it still feels new.
I think I mentioned last week, going from Miles Morales to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, there's just no comparison, right? Like, even facial animation, cinematics, there's just, and they're both open world games. Obviously, Valhalla is way larger than this, but there's just no comparison to what Insomniac has done with Miles Morales. It's excellent.
So, like, you know, it's kind of funny because I feel like the experiences are kind of the same, where you're still playing an old game,
sure,
but it feels new.
Yeah.
And like, that's what the Series X needed so badly, was something new.
It really did.
Because now I feel like I don't really have any reason to play it. Now, that being said, like, I streamed Alan Wake earlier this week, which also, by the way, really stands up. The facial animation doesn't, but that game was amazing, and it still is amazing. And it was nice to not have to hook anything up.
Yeah.
Just jump on Game Pass, download Alan Wake, plays perfectly. You know, like that's a big deal. It
better
is
load times.
Better load. Yeah, you know, like so there's definitely an upside to that. But yeah, I haven't really, other than that, I haven't touched the Series X all week.
Okay.
But yeah, Spider-Man. Wow. Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yes, it is.
And I love how much care has been given and how much sort of clearly love they've poured into this, making this version. Like the story, I love the original Spider-Man was great because the sort of the rogues gallery of his enemies, like he had pre-existing relationships already. He'd been Spider-Man for a while. All these guys were put away, and the whole story where like they're all aligning together against him was a great story, especially because with all the comic book movies that we've been dealing with for the past 15 years or so, you know, we've had our, I think at that point, a lot of us had our fill of origin stories, right? Mm-hmm. Which was one of the great things about Spider-Man. But that being said, having this be basically a Miles Morales origin story for the most part feels really fresh because the last Spider-Man game wasn't.
Yeah.
And I just love like even the little things like when he's swinging, you can kind of tell that he's not 100% as comfortable as Peter Parker was in the previous game. Like every now and then he'll start like running in air and he starts flailing around a little bit. And he's just like,
no, the animations are top notch in this. Yeah.
They're great. And I also love that, you know, they're doing this, I think he's 17 years old in this game. Anyway, they're doing this thing where he's just being such a teenager. And it's like every time that he tries to do something good, he keeps making things worse. Yeah. Which I just love that that's kind of what's happening the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the new combat's great. I really love his new abilities. The ability to go invisible has really changed the game. Yeah. Especially when you start unlocking some of the super mods.
How far are you in it right now?
I'm at like 59%.
Okay.
But I feel like I might be very near the end of the story. I don't want to say where I am because I don't know where you guys are, and I don't want.
Well, we both finished.
We finished it.
Oh, okay. I'd like to do a more complete sort of spoiler cast, right? I'll ask you guys off the show where you guys are. But
we both finished
it.
I mean, where I'll ask you guys if I'm close based on where I am.
Gotcha.
But I've decided now, like I really want to clean up all the activities and tasks and things like that.
I actually, because CJ, you beat it like what, a couple days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I actually just beat it today, maybe, a couple hours before we recorded, and I ended up taking a little longer because I did do all the side quest stuff. Okay. I cleared out all the bases and found all the collectibles and did all that before going into the final sort of end game section of it.
So can I ask something, actually, one thing that I wasn't sure of when I was playing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I remember this correctly, in the original game, each, what are they, boroughs in New York? Is that what we call them? Each area, anyway, in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
There, to complete an area, there was a certain number of crimes that you had to also deal with. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like those are on the completion lists anymore. So are they just completely random things now that just happen whenever?
The crimes, just like the kind of street crimes,
like there's a break-in or someone stole my car, or
that those are kind of randomized. But what you can do is you can go into the friendly neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and you can actually activate them.
Yes.
If you ever want to, like, I want to do one of the car chase crimes, you can actually go in and, even if you've already. Even if one's not happening at the moment, you can go in and click on it, and it'll trigger one of those happening in your area.
So, but they're not. They don't work towards completion of an area anymore. I think in the original game they did, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't believe that's the case.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Cool. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to go through and complete what I can and get all the the sounds and.
But yeah, you actually can. There is a finite number of those street crimes, obviously, and then there's a finite number of side quests that you can go on in there as well. So
okay,
I'd finished both of those quite a while before I opened the final section.
Yeah, same here.
It kept telling me like, check the friendly neighborhood app for more things to do. And it's like, everything's checked off in here.
well, you know what you have to do in that case?
What
is you just have to trigger one of the crimes or wait for one to randomly pop up.
Sure.
And then when you clear it, then it moves on to the next story beat or whatever.
Yeah.
So
which I was doing. Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
because that's true. They do put those in there every now and then when you'll have like a big story scene.
Yeah.
And then someone's gone to do something. It's like, well, I got some time to kill. And they really want you to jump into the Spider app and do one of those activities.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
anyway, yeah, I love it. And like I say, I mean, he's such a great character.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just like Peter Parker was previously, he's acted so well. All the characters are done so well.
Well, yeah,
usual.
I mean the supporting cast.
Oh my god,
amazing
is great.
Yeah.
So
and it's just more of what you love, but it's a completely new cast, which I love even more.
Yeah.
Did you play in the 60 frames per second mode or stay in 30? I stayed in 30 and I switched it today. I tried the 60 frames a second mode. And I went back to the 30 frames.
Oh yeah?
Mode. I don't know. It was kind of giving me motion sickness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In 60 frames.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I tried it in Spider-Man Remastered as well, the 60, and it was the same deal. So
yeah.
I'll just leave the 30 frames a second with the ray tracing on, because man,
it's so nice.
It looks so good.
And I'll tell you, that's the other thing too. Having this whole thing taking place around Christmas, I love snow in a game anyway. It's just something about it. And my God, the weather effects look nice in this game. The sky looks incredible.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The final battle against Santa seemed a little out of place,
unexpected,
but they wrapped it up. It
was really the Roxxon CEO dressed up.
I loved the and I forget the exact lines now, but I love that they've turned J. Jonah Jameson into sort of a hybrid of like Trump and Alex Jones.
Yeah.
A lot of the phrases he uses are clearly straight out of that.
Yeah.
And when he's dressed up as Santa for a promo in the Rhino at the Rhino level
at the beginning of the game.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, it's a great game.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll finish it this week. So next week, let's do like a bit of a.
We should.
It'd be fun to do like a bit of a spoiler cast on the story.
Cool.
Yeah. I have not done everything, all the little things that the game gives you to do. I've done all the side missions.
Yeah.
Now, and there's some post game stuff too. I haven't done all of the like tasks that the game has. So I did all the combat, the training trials that they have in the game. I've not done all of the like labs and strongholds, and I haven't found
a couple
all
of
the
real story pieces in those activities.
Keepsakes and the sound effect or the sound clips that you're looking for. I haven't done all of those yet. So
I'll say this: the sound clips. I mean, I did
not
them all.
As fun.
I finished them. But yeah, they're not. It's not a fun.
Yeah, it's you quest. Searching for the perfect spot to sit in a like one square block area, give or take. And I do like the story reasoning behind them.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you definitely get some good backstory by completing it.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
And
I like that they sell them as like work-life balance sort of thing. Like you got to take a break once in a while and just do something chill. And I get it, but at the same time, it looks like.
I'll say this though, Greg. If you've triggered those quests, you're pretty close.
I triggered them early on.
Oh, really?
I felt like I triggered them early. That's what I'm saying. I concentrated on the story a lot.
Okay.
I think you're almost done then.
I do feel like I'm almost done.
That's you're getting very close to the end of the story.
Yeah, unless there's a major U-turn on the way, I think that I'm pretty much done. So yeah. That's why I'm going back and doing all the extra quests and cleaning up now.
Yeah.
I
have 2 more suits to unlock. One of which is there's a suit you can unlock in the post game because once you beat the game, a side quest. Well, there's one of the suits opens up a new, like once you finish the game, you end up back in the city and a new quest is opened and that gets you the new suit. If you start New Game Plus, there's the final suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not been unlocking any suits because by the end of the previous game, I got to the point where I had to go like perfect some of the challenges to get enough tokens to unlock the suits I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I'd just been unlocking them as soon as I could afford them.
Right.
So now I've been like hoarding.
Don't take tokens. They just unlock when you finish.
Well, I've been unlocking
something.
those. Like right now, I guess it's kind of a spoiler for anyone who would care. I'm basically roping around town in my scarf and my warm socks and toque.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
And you're definitely at the end.
That's why I think I'm at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. This game seems to be a little more generous in terms of being able to unlock the suits, because you have to spend the activity tokens, which you earn by completing the side quest or the street crimes.
I guess you can, if you can spawn a street crime whenever you want.
Yeah.
And
then by infiltrating the undergrounds, like finding their little secret caches of weapons, you have to, some of the things you collect from those. So if you've just been kind of playing the game at a normal rate and doing, the side quest missions and things, and, tracking down the little underground caches, then you should be okay to buy most of this. I said, I was able to buy all the suits in the game and just about power up all of my gadgets.
Okay. I have everything powered up.
Yeah, without farming for tokens or anything. So
maybe I should do that, especially if I'm getting near the end of the game, because I am using the gadgets a fair amount.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, and those suits, when you buy them, they also unlock suit mods as well. So
right.
So you can swap out your powers and things like that.
Right now, the mods that I have are, the one where you can track when you've scanned and you can track enemies through walls.
Right.
Yep. I love that one active.
And the one that if you get detected during a stealth takedown, you immediately go camouflage.
Yes.
That's
automatically. I love that one.
The ones I've been using that one. Yeah. The instant camouflage, which has kind of saved my bacon more than once.
The first few times it happened, I'd forgotten I had it equipped, and I was like, why did he go invisible? I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad he did it, but I forgot that it was going to happen.
And then I have the one where if you do like some of the stealth takedowns, it doesn't generate noise. So
I just unlocked that one, but I haven't equipped it yet.
Yeah, because I relied on stealth a lot throughout the game. So
same.
So I have those two going. But yeah, no, it's a great game, and
it really is.
Yeah, I mean, we won't get into it this week. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, the whole ending sequence is great. The story is fantastic.
Setting up for something amazing at the end. Like, I'm excited to finish it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I won't say any more, but until we talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. And I gotta say, I think I like it more than the first game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like for as much as I liked Otto, Doc Ock in the first game and his relationship with Peter. I really like Miles's relationship with, and again, I don't want to say anything until
I know
we
who
really
you
go into the spoiler next week.
Yeah.
But I mean, not just who you think I'm talking about, but like Genki.
Yep.
And and his mom and all the characters are fantastic. I really love.
They're all really well written.
Yeah, I love all of their relationships with each other and with Miles, and I gotta say, I like that the game is like 10 hours.
Yep.
As opposed to like 25 or 30.
Yep.
Because it feels. Like a lot. There's no filler in it.
And I like that it's 10 hours at a reduced price.
Yeah.
If you don't want to buy the special edition.
Right.
Well, like I love.
I did.
But I love, and we've said this on something to this effect on the show so many times, which is I love that option because, me personally, I know I'll never play through the originals. I won't find the time. I'd love to. I won't find the time to play through a Spider-Man again. Right. So the fact that I can enjoy Miles Morales without having to pay over $100 for the better part of a game that I won't play again.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is great. Fantastic. Yeah. This is how I wish it was now.
Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate it being more condensed, because it does feel like the whole game matters, and it doesn't feel like they're big chunks of the game where it's just like I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
And no like puzzle things.
Yeah,
like
no like stealth missions with.
You don't have any of that stupid puzzle stuff that was in the first game. You don't have the stealth missions that were not good in the first game. Yeah. So yeah, no, they trimmed the fat.
Yep.
And the game is better for it.
Completely.
Yeah, so
really loving it.
No, it's top notch. I am a big fan of this game.
So that's pretty much my experience, and that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. Like I said, I played Alan Wake. And it was fun to play it again. Somebody had requested it on the stream, and it was fun to play it again just because I was curious. I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, is it going to hold up? And boy, does it hold up. Yeah. It was a really good game.
Nice.
To the point that because I remember playing Quantum Break and being disappointed by Remedy, right?
Right.
And I haven't tried Control yet. But I remember being disappointed with Quantum Break. $20. I heard
the ultimate.
Being disappointed with Quantum Break because it didn't feel as good as Alan Wake. And and boy, does Alan Wake still hold up. I'd love to see a remake of that, like a 4K, like a true go in and remake or a sequel.
That'd be interesting.
I doubt we'll see that.
I mean, there's DLC, there's Alan Wake related DLC for Control. So if you get the Ultimate Edition, which is currently $20 on digital stores, that gives you the next gen upgrade. You can get some more Alan Wake that way. Yeah, I love Alan Wake. I have the special edition that comes with the huge book.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was a big fan of that game.
Yeah, that game's awesome. Night Springs. I watched some of your stream and some of the you just standing there watching episodes of Night Springs.
I was. That's right. I'd forgotten about them.
Yeah, the show within the game. All right, Phil.
Yeah.
How about you tell us about what you've been playing?
Well, as we talked about, I obviously finished up Miles, which again, it's a good game.
You know,
very good game.
Thinking about Game of the Year stuff.
Okay.
And thinking about this month
played 2 contenders in last week.
I know. I feel kind of bad about that too.
And the PlayStation 5 launch specifically.
Yeah.
I think 2 of those games are going to be in my Game of the Year list.
And I feel because I always, whenever like a game comes out and it's like the hot new game and you're just like, oh, this is the best game I've played in a year.
Always like to have some separation.
Yeah. But boy, oh boy.
There's 2 of them right off the bat.
Astro Bot and Miles feel like top 5 games of my year, at least. I mean,
that's
good.
You know what though? It's gonna be a tough year.
Yeah.
I think that, putting him in the order that, a top 5, but
right.
I think there were some pretty big releases earlier this year that are on my list too. So I'm not sure.
Not sure. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. It'll be a good show, I think, this year when we do our game of the year.
Too.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Here's a game that won't be on my on my top 5 games of the year. But if you'll bear with me, I hope you can learn to appreciate how I appreciate the new import video game that I just got this past week. I'd ordered this from Amazon Japan. It is the new Kamen Rider game. Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, which came out for like PS4. I got the Switch version, which I bought because I got into that the recent Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Zero 1, thanks to my pal Justin, who's a big Kamen Rider nerd and got me watching it, and I really dug it. because it is over the top and corny and stupid and hokey, and that's why it's fun.
Sure.
And they came out with a game, and this game has there are multiple Kamen Rider series since the 60s. There are dozens of them, and this one there's like 3 different Kamen Riders you can play as, one of which is 01. So this was purely I am buying this game because I like the license and I want
Doesn't matter if the game is crap.
Exactly. And
sure.
I just
We've all
I just
been
want,
there.
I just want to kick some dudes while I look like Kamen Rider and music from the show plays, and I yell out goofy attack names while I'm doing it. And indeed, I did pay extra to get I believe it's called the Premium Sound Edition.
Of course you did.
All right.
Because Namco Bandai, who made this game, they figured out whether this is brilliant or devious, probably both. You can buy the game, or you can buy the Premium Sound Edition, which certainly costs more money, which has a lot more music in it that is taken from the show. So like a bunch of the theme songs and a lot of the music.
That's interesting.
The game has more sound from the series if you buy the Premium Sound Edition.
So you can buy just the regular edition where you play through and it's just generic video game music that they composed for it. But if you get the Premium Edition, it has, I think it's like 60 tracks.
Holy God.
Where it's like, now here's, so now when you start a fight, it's playing like the theme songs from the show with the vocals and stuff like that. So they're,
first of all, Namco Bandai, don't tell any other company that this works. This has worked on anybody because yikes.
No, it is. Yeah, no, it's like I said, brilliant / devious. Absolutely. So I was playing it, and it is I'm going to say this, it is not as bad as I feared.
Okay.
Sure. It is a thoroughly mediocre character action game.
Fantastic.
It is thoroughly mediocre. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not good. But I will say I am enjoying it. Although, boy, playing a bit of Miles Morales. Remember last week when I said how Bug Snacks suffered because I was playing Astro Bot? And then you start playing Bug Snacks and you're just like, oh, this is
last gen.
Yeah. Going from Miles Morales in terms of superhero beating up villains to friggin' Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes. Oh, it's not a it's a long walk down that hall, let me tell you. But I'm having fun with this game because it is making me oddly nostalgic for like mid to late 90s import PlayStation games.
Specifically Gamera?
That is
that Gamera.
Well,
that's a weirdly specific.
That is.
It is because
weirdly specific.
This
Yu Yu Hakusho and
well, exactly. It was like back in those days where we would drive, an hour away to go to the one import store.
Yes.
In the area, and you would pay $120 for a PS1 game. Because it was a Ranma 1/2 game, and you love watching and reading Ranma, and you would muddle through this game's
fighting game
Japanese menus, and you would try to figure out these games' mechanics, which seemed a little overbearing.
What do you mean the circle button is confirm?
And unnecessarily complicated to pull off moves or to do attacks.
Yeah.
And the game wasn't good. But
we liked it.
But holy cow, I'm Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm beating up a dude. That's not the character's name. I forget the character's name in Yu Yu Hakusho. But yeah, it's that kind.
Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 or
yes, it's like I'm playing
whatever.
You know, a mildly obscure, certainly in the US, Japanese game based on some Japanese property, some sort of Japanese pop culture that I only kind of understand, and you know, you're kind of futzing with it and it's not very good, but you stick with it because you like the characters or the look of the game, and it plays some of the music from the show, and it's like, oh look, I'm P-chan, and how cool is that? And it's that.
Still talking about Ranma?
Well, in this case, I mean, I'm bouncing around.
Okay,
it was all of those things. It was friggin' Tokimeki Memorial. We muddled through Tokimeki Memorial. Damn it, a text-driven game in a language we did not read because
Sakura
it was like
Tyson.
Yes, because it was like you know, cute anime graphics and bouncy J-pop music and stuff. You know, and it's making me
now that stuff gets released here.
Well, I know, right? But it's
I'm waiting for Bandai Namco to announce the US release of Kamen Rider.
Well, and here's the thing: it's in English. It's in
really?
English. Yes,
fully in English.
Yes, I mean the voices and everything are obviously still in Japanese, but it has an English subtitles. It's got all English subtitles. Okay. The menus are all in English. So it's making me oddly nostalgic.
We'll get the non-premium sound edition.
Yeah, exactly.
In February.
Yeah. And it'll be like $20 digital only or something because nobody knows what Kamen Rider is in the.
Or they'll go the way they did with what game is that? The music game that they did.
Groove Coaster.
Well,
that's Taito. That's Taito. But
Groove Coaster, where it's like $70 on the Switch.
I know. I bought it anyway, though, didn't I?
Yeah, they only recently did like a 15% off sale. I have it on my wish list, and I'm like, keep going.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
that game too. That game has a crap ton of DLC because I love Groove Coaster. It is a fun as hell little game, and I would love to buy all the DLC for it. But
it's expensive.
There's probably like 20 DLC packs for that game.
Yeah.
And they're all like $15 each.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see that Space Invaders game is coming out here? Space Invaders Collection, the ultimate thing.
I think we knew that, didn't we?
Now, which one though? Because
I don't know. I just saw that the import one that we talked about on the show once is coming out here.
Because I bought the digital copy of the Japanese one. I went on the Japanese eShop and bought the digital copy. There is a Space Invader game coming out, I think, in a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
That is part of that collection.
Oh, they're not doing the whole thing?
It is not the full collection. But here's the thing. I believe the game that is coming out here, if we're being completely honest,
is the better part of that.
It's all the games that you would actually play.
Okay.
You know, so it has like I think it's got Space Invaders Extreme, and it's got like the Arkanoid versus Space Invaders, and maybe one or two. Yeah. So there's some European company that's kind of like limited run. I think it's Strictly Limited. I think it's Strictly Limited is the name of this.
I think you're right. They're doing a physical of that.
I believe that's already out.
Okay.
And the one they're selling is essentially the Japanese version where it's like all the games. But the one that's getting released here in the US, I believe is just like the good part of it. So
okay.
Which I highly recommend because like Space Invaders Extreme is outstanding.
It's a good game.
It's really damn good. But
circling back to Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes.
Yes.
Mediocre.
Very mediocre. But I am enjoying it
nostalgic.
Because it gives me nostalgic feels for mid to late 90s import gaming. So
fair enough.
And I get to beat up goons while the Kamen Rider 01 theme blares in the background.
And that's all one.
And that theme rocks the most. So absolutely. Okay. And then I picked up Hyrule Warriors, as you might expect. Age of Calamity, the new Breath of the Wild Hyrule Warriors, which I honestly have not had much time to play because I was playing mostly Miles Morales and a little bit of Kamen Rider, and I just played through like one more mission of Hyrule Warriors, but
I basically did the same.
It's Hyrule Warriors.
I like mission.
I like Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, it's none of my weapons broke. Dip, 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 dip.
Now, had you pre-ordered it, and did you get the ladle weapon?
Well, that was a digital only pre-order.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I bought it physically. So I did not. I did get the special item, the special wooden sword, I believe.
Yes, the training sword.
The training sword for having a Breath of the Wild save on my system.
Right.
But I did not get the ladle, I'm afraid.
Okay. I got the ladle.
Yeah?
I haven't used it, though.
Tell us about the ladle.
It's a soup ladle.
Did you make it out of clay?
No, I didn't.
And
I didn't
when
make,
it's
I didn't make it at all.
And ready, then ladle you shall play.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
It's the dreidel song.
Oh, okay.
It's the dreidel song, man. Come on.
Well, I didn't know you were swapping dreidel with ladle. That was what confused me. All right, so
I don't know.
Talk about what I've been playing.
I
have also been playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Read the Torah, CJ.
I'll get right on that.
Thank you.
And I played one additional mission over and above the demo because I focused on Miles Morales instead this week.
Well, why wouldn't you? Miles Morales is outstanding.
It's a fantastic game. That is very true. But yeah, I mean, it's Hyrule Warriors, and I loved Hyrule Warriors back on the Wii U, and then on the 3DS, and then on the Switch, and now here's a new one. And again, I like the voice cast from Breath of the Wild is not exactly my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So when they have story things that come up and Zelda talks a lot, I'm not exactly like, it's not great. Like even the voice cast for the other characters, I'm just not a fan of the casting that they did here. But the game itself is fantastic, and it is a Musou game and has all of those trappings. And I understand that's not for everybody, but I do enjoy running around a map, saving soldiers that are in great peril 4 different times across the same mission,
as long as they are not from Japanese or Chinese history.
Well, yeah, I don't play
at which point those guys can fend for themselves.
Exactly. I like the Zelda.
Those guys made their beds. Now they
characters. I like
if I'm not saving Impa, I don't care what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it.
That's exactly it. So I want to
read
get
a history book,
more.
CJ.
Now that I'm done with Miles Morales, maybe I'll get to spend more time in it. Other things I played. So Fuser is a game that came out, I think 2 weeks ago, actually. This is from Harmonix. It came out like on Series X launch day.
Yeah.
I believe. And I purchased this digitally.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically a version of their board game that they put out, Drop Mix, but as a video game instead of a board game. So with a lot more options in terms of remixing the songs as well. So it comes with a good amount of tracks that you unlock via in-game progression. And then, of course, you can buy DLC for it. They had a launch pack that has something like 25 extra songs, which, of course, I bought. And then they're doing weekly DLC as well for this. And, of course, the game, you unlock songs via progression. But if you buy a DLC pack, those are all unlocked right away, which is nice. But so I've been playing through the stages on this. It's pretty fun. It gets kind of complicated, and I am very happy that the game eases you into all of the different things that you can do, because like Drop Mix, the board game, you have like 4 different sections of a song that you can drop on the board. And at least with this one, you can also drop like 2 different tracks of the same instrument, or like the same track line on to one mix, and then you can play with things like the BPM, the beats per minute.
Thanks, CJ. Thanks for that.
To use a technical DJ term, for a moment. But it's really a lot of fun, and I'm happy that a new version of Drop Mix was really a lot of fun.
I enjoy it. I finally got to play it. I enjoyed it.
They have made it somehow so that no matter what you do, the music still sounds good.
Yeah.
Like you can't
for the most part.
You can't really mess it up too bad, at least to start.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that for sure. But it's got like a nice sort of story mode to ease you into each of the things that you need in the game. And then it sort of lets you free in a free play mode. And they're doing things like, I think it's like a weekly challenge where you can submit a mix to the community and then they vote on it.
Oh, cool.
And you can win like in-game currency and things like that. So it's pretty cool. I like Fuser quite a bit. And that sort of came out at maybe the wrong time, like right at the system launches where people weren't paying attention, but it is a fun little package. And if you like Harmonix's other music games, I think you're going to love Fuser.
Okay.
I played some more Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I ran into a bug, a pretty bad bug with one of the missions. So in the game, you have a sort of homestead. You establish a town in England, and then you want to get surrounding villages to support your town as well. You want allies. So I went off on the first quest line and did all the things to like help this particular tribe. And one of the things that comes up is this general. She has 3 lieutenants, and one of them is basically a spy, is a traitorous spy, and gave the enemy some information that took out some of her people. So in order to win her friendship and her help, you have to find the traitor. You have to find the rat within her ranks. So you have to do a little investigation. And at the point, I got to the point where you accuse the person, okay, they're the rat. Like, I'm going to go tell this general that this is the person in her ranks that told the enemy or that helped the enemy. And told her the guy's name. There's a cinematic where she accuses that person, but she accuses the wrong person and kills him. So it's like, I found out who the rat is. Here's his name. Cue cut scene. You're a traitorous rat. Other guy. Stab. So
like Reservoir Dogs Valhalla.
I immediately hit the Xbox button, went back to the home screen, quit out of the app. And I'm like, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I need to, like, I don't know, let the game. Maybe I need to research more evidence or something. I don't know what exactly went wrong. So I went back, did everything I could, talked to more NPCs than I had originally, went back, accused the same guy, again, the same thing. Stabbed and killed the wrong guy that I did not accuse. And so I did some searching online. Apparently this is a bug in the game.
Oh.
Seems like a pretty big bug.
It just won't let you do it. And the penalty for picking the wrong, like having her kill the wrong person, is the rat like comes back, and then this tribe never trusts you again. So you like can't ally with them at all after that point. So it's like, all right, so now that I've run into this bug, do I continue playing and just like forget about all the work that I did? Or do I wait for them to like patch the game so that I can actually get past this point? And I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with that. I'm hoping they patch it quickly, but there's only like 3 reports of it on Ubisoft's forum. So I'm not sure if it's like a very like high profile bug that I just happen to run into. It's like, I'm sure it's a very low priority bug. But it sort of stopped my progress completely in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I was quite enjoying playing Assassin's Creed again. So I guess I'll wait.
Speaking of bugs, I had Miles hard crash on me twice last night while I was playing.
I had a hard crash on me once.
I haven't had a crash, but I had one when I was in the street fair and I was talking to the girl from Feast. You know, when you get in conversations in that game, while the conversation is happening, you can move around a little bit, but you can't walk away from that person.
Right.
In the middle of the conversation, I got a phone call, so I paused it. And then when I unpaused it, the conversation finished and I was still stuck in that little area. I couldn't leave. There was no way to get out but to turn the game off. And then another time I somehow had activated his electricity just before a cutscene. And so the sound effect and the rumble never stopped.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't turn it off through like this long dramatic cutscene. And then when the game restarted, no matter what I did, the rumble would not turn off. And you get little sound effects through the speaker and the controller too, right?
Yeah.
I've had that happen where that electricity effect and the rumble held on longer than it should have.
Right.
I also had some weird like stutters. So after I finished the game, I was doing some side quests and the game would like noticeably like stutter and pause as I was swinging through the city. I had to restart. I don't know. There's probably a memory leak somewhere that's causing that, but it would happen like before a crime would appear on the map. Yeah. Be like stutter. Oh, there's a crime in progress.
Interesting.
The first crash I had last night, the game froze and then there was like a beat. And then all of a sudden it just started making this horrid, like grinding metal noise, just like this, just that wouldn't stop. And I the controller just went dead. I couldn't do anything with the controller. I eventually had to go down and like hold in the power button or something to get the system to shut itself off.
Yeah,
it was not great. And the second time it just kind of crashed and brought up the, hey, the game stopped running. Want to report it?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time it happened to me, it froze, made a sort of a loud sound, like the sound effects were repeating themselves, sort of like a Max Headroom sort of thing.
Right.
For a couple seconds, and then the system just powered itself down.
Man. Yeah,
Max Headroom in your PS5.
Well, especially if it's like the Chicago hacking incident.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
If you don't know, friends, if you are not aware of the Chicagoland Max Headroom TV hijacking
pirate,
pirate broadcast, look that up. You can find it on YouTube, and it is weird.
Yeah.
They never caught that guy. They have no
idea. I don't think
who
so.
Did it.
No,
it's
no idea.
Yeah, they still don't know who did that. It's crazy.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with Valhalla until they fix that bug. I hope they fix it soon.
Yeah, really.
To play some more stuff on the Xbox, I sort of rummaged through the Game Pass catalog and decided I was going to load up Yakuza Zero. On
was that on Xbox? Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass. The Yakuza games, several of them actually are on Game Pass. So I had heard that Zero is quote unquote the best one. And I own Yakuza Zero on the PS4 and only played a little bit of it. But I thought, hey, new system, let's give it another shot. Loaded it up. And I'm quite happy with the load times in that game now. And there are a lot of cutscenes in the Yakuza games, especially at the beginning. There's a lot of exposition that I think I remember on the PS4. There was a lot of loading time in between, so there was a lot of sort of idle time there. So I'm up to the point now where I quit the PS4 game. So and since games are easy to just hop in and out of, especially with Quick Resume, which appeared to be working with Yakuza Zero when I loaded that back in, I'm looking forward to playing a little more of that. Yeah, try a little more of that. And basically, that's all I've been playing, except I started Spider-Man Remastered today.
Oh, did you?
You going to finish it this time?
As we mentioned, I think earlier in the show, there was an update fixing the rest mode crash, and then also you can now bring your PS4 save over.
Oh, can you?
Oh, so you have no reason not to finish it.
But with bringing your PS4 save over, you have to. There's an update for the PS4 Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. You have to go into that, and from the main menu, the game selection screen, you can upload the save. Okay. Then you go into Spider-Man Remastered and transfer the save. It transfers over trophies and everything, apparently.
Oh, good. Okay, then I can. So I'm glad this is why I kept my PS4 hooked up, so I can do this. So.
Well, you could also do it with the PS5 because Spider-Man runs on the PS5.
Oh, you can just put the digital or the disc in your PS5.
You can just boot. You can boot the PS4 version before you boot. You can pick which version you want to boot.
Oh, really?
From the PS5, yes.
Oh, so if I just select the Spider-Man icon on my PS5, I can select PS4 version.
Did you have a physical
disc? No, I have a physical. Yeah.
So if the data was installed on your external drive, the way I understand it is you can plug in the external to the PS5, put in the PS4 disc as the key to run it, basically. Mm-hmm. Then icon over to Spider-Man, where it would be Spider-Man Remastered. Press the option button. There will be an option for select game version.
Oh, okay.
If you want the PS4 version, you can boot into it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I played a little bit of that.
Cool.
And played it in 30 frames a second mode with ray tracing on and everything. Got past that first fight with Fisk, and it's fantastic. I mean, it looks great, and coming right off Miles Morales, I think I might finish it this time. I would like to finish it this time. I was having so much fun in Miles Morales that I want to play more of Spider-Man. So, yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. It looks great, though. My God, like the ray tracing and the reflections in the floor in Fisk Tower is just it's great.
How the puddles hold up?
Puddles, I haven't seen too many of those yet.
See, that's how they get you, man.
I know.
Yeah.
But excited to play more of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've been playing. So I think that means we can go into tweets. Tweet. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Lero, who says, I re-listened to the Switch launch episode 539. Lots of discussion of its flaws, Joy-Con ergonomics, desyncing, hidden costs, micro SD and Pro Controller docks, scratching screen, getting the strap rails stuck, etc. Not the old polished Nintendo quality. How do you feel 3 years on?
Didn't we already do this one? No, I think I just answered it on Twitter.
You might have answered it on Twitter. We did not do this on the show.
Well, what did you say, Greg?
The Joy-Con ergonomics still suck. I don't use the Joy-Cons at all if I can help it.
Yeah, I always use a Pro Controller.
Yep.
I use the Pro Controller if I'm playing on the TV, obviously. And occasionally I'll put them in the little dock and use them if I don't have a Pro Controller nearby or it's not charged or something. Obviously, I think the Pro
Not saying I never use them, obviously, but I find them, I still find them very uncomfortable.
I'm a lot more used to putting the straps on the Joy-Con for when we play Mario Party.
Yeah, see, we don't do that.
Which we do often. So, like, we just played Mario Party last night, in fact.
Wow.
So, yeah, a lot of Joy-Con syncing and putting on those straps. So,
yeah.
And had to deal with the drift issue twice now. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't remember the other things. I mean, the hidden cost and having to go out and buy a memory card and a screen protector and all that stuff. I know that's normal for just about everything nowadays. But
sure,
once that happens the first time, you don't have to deal with it anymore. So still a great system.
It is a great system.
None of it this year. Oh my God.
I hope we get a revision next year.
I'd like what it is with you always wanting revisions of things. I don't get that.
I'd like to see a revision.
Why do you like? I enjoy not buying a new system for 4 or 5 years at a time.
Yeah, really.
That sounds like a hellscape I do not want to experience.
Oh, CJ.
I know. Yeah. I bought a 400 gig micro SD. I have not gone 1 terabyte on that. The pricing is still not quite to the level where I'll bite on that. And I haven't had too many problems with that. I've cleaned out the storage when necessary to download new things, and the Switch OS I think does a good job in pointing you towards things that you can delete pretty safely. Like if you haven't, it sorts things by like the last time you booted something and the size. So gives you like old things that are taking up a lot of space first on the list, which is really nice. I think the Switch has been a really good Nintendo system. Obviously it has all of the flaws that often Nintendo systems have, but I don't know if it's yet dethroned the 3DS as like my favorite, but close. It's close.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Mark's Remark, who says, what can Nintendo do in 2021 to swing the attention back in their favor?
Be Nintendo.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 9.
Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime. Switch revision. There you go. Launch a Switch revision with Breath of the Wild 2.
How many of those things do you think will actually happen in 2021?
Breath of the Wild 2, I think, could happen in 2021, and a Switch revision might happen in 2021.
That makes me sad, because those are probably out of those 4, those are the bottom 2 for me. I so want a Mario Kart 9. Oh my God. Come on.
do too.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That would be cool.
Stop putting cool stuff out for that goddamn mobile phone version. And
right, all the different racers that
and
has.
Let's just take what you did with Mario Kart 8 and turn it up to 11 for like a new experience, please.
So what, they'd skip 9 and 10?
Yes.
Well, seems like it'd be confusing.
They for Black Friday anyway, or for the holidays down here, I think this is available in Canada as well. They have Mario Kart 8 as a pack-in again.
Oh yeah,
this is like the second or third year in a row that they've done Mario Kart 8 pack in with the system as like a special holiday thing.
And it's just like, when you consider that game was already a couple years old when the Switch came out.
Yes.
So it's like it's getting long in the tooth. It's still fantastic.
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, but it's getting a little long in the tooth. We need a new one now. I'm happy with one Mario Kart per system. That's totally fine with me, especially when they're as good as the last one was. But let's get a Switch,
a new one. Splatoon 3 would be fun to get to. I'd be all about that. But I'm excited for 2021 Nintendo. I think they're maybe this year has been a little quiet, but I think 2021 will be good for them again.
I don't know. I mean, has this year been quiet when you really look at it? Like, I mean, wasn't Luigi's Mansion this year?
No, Luigi's Mansion was last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But Animal Crossing was huge.
Animal Crossing, Paper Mario.
Yeah. Paper Mario was the one I was thinking of.
Pikmin 3 Luigi. Deluxe. Age of Calamity. Yeah, I mean, it's been okay, but I hope 2021 is better for many reasons, but also in terms of Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think we'll end it out with this one from Hacker Alias Coffin Colors, who says, with rumors of a PlayStation competitor to Xbox Game Pass on the horizon, what games/features could you see Sony leveraging that expand on what's already available with PS Now and the PS Plus collection?
I don't know what's available for PS Now.
Yeah.
If they do it, I think they just got to do Honestly, they'd be good enough just to do what Microsoft does.
Yeah.
Which
just
is what?
To get some more get some more current games on that platform.
Yeah. Like maybe.
So
like
you're saying first-party Sony games you would want to see
that'd be amazing.
Like Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
I'm assuming is not on.
I think
now?
they could even get away with
It's
not.
No.
I think they could even get away with not doing day and date for new releases. I don't. That seems like a major step to me. But even if 6 months to a year old, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I could see them doing something like, we could take Spider-Man as an example. Like if this rumored PlayStation competitor was available, like if you subscribe to it, yeah, it's not day and date, but also you get one of the DLC packs with it, or
right.
something like that. I mean, I think Game Pass, they give you the game, but oftentimes there will be DLC for those games that you can alternately purchase. So yeah, I mean, I have a PS Now subscription now because it was on sale for like $40 a month ago or something. So I jumped in, and I mean, it's got some goodies, but they're older games, and even on like the indie side, nothing seems to like launch into PS Now, which I think they could also leverage that. I mean, at one point PS4 was like so big on the indies, and Xbox has kind of taken that baton away from PlayStation in the last couple of years. And, PlayStation could probably lean on that quite a bit for a Game Pass competitor.
And they still do streaming stuff on that service, right? Like they're actually
you can stream or download. Oftentimes you get an option.
So I mean, one of the other things to do, and I know they do this a little bit, but they could really dive into and really make available their older console libraries,
which they are. Yeah,
but I mean, really, I was saying
they do
really
that with PS Now,
right? I know that. I know they do, but I'm saying like really, really make a massive library available, because that's something that Microsoft can't compete as much against. Microsoft does,
that's true.
And
although a lot of, I mean, there are OG Xbox games in Game Pass.
Right. I'm just saying that the Microsoft brand doesn't have the depth of the PlayStation brand when it comes to. And then also if you went the route of getting some sort of the wacky Japanese games that didn't come here, and even if you don't translate them, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that Microsoft can't do. So not to the level that Sony could do it if they wanted to. But I just remember my experience with PS Now, which was last year, I think, or a couple of years ago. I tried it for a month or two, and it's just that the library felt stale. To me.
Yeah.
I was thankful for the really older stuff that you sort of couldn't get at otherwise, but the actual sort of current games were absolutely not current.
I mean, yeah, I think the reason the Game Pass works, that people pay more attention to it than PS Now, is that first party library day and date, and you have a lot of indies that go into Game Pass day and date. So
yeah,
they're really competing with those two things.
Yeah.
If they want a competitor to Game Pass. Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think that's the show. That's it.
All right.
Alrighty, that's our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you will find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Yeah, I'm not working on any of those right now.
No, taking some time off from that, but you're working on some kind of Generation 16 episode.
I am, yes. And that episode, the rough cut of that episode, is getting very close to being done. So
nice.
We're a couple weeks away from it being finished.
Nice. You will also find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about in this episode. I'm sure I'm going to have to link to the Max Headroom Chicago piracy thing once again in the show notes, because
absolutely.
that's a fun bit of Chicago history. For sure. Weird bit of Chicago history.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you missed a game that we talked about or anything, it'll be in the show notes. It'll be right there. Just refer to that. Refer to those if you have any questions about that stuff. And there's also a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening application. We're also on Spotify. We're on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show, or indeed watch us do this show live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account at P1 Podcast to find out when we are doing our next live show. Usually, it is this time. It is usually Sunday nights at 5:30 specific time. So please join us for that. If you've liked what you've heard, and how could you? You can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way because I have a lot of Groove Coaster DLC I want to buy. And only with your
premium sound editions those aren't going to pay for themselves.
Kamen Rider music rights are very expensive, friends. So
right.
Give early, give often. No, we kid, of course. Your Patreon dollars do help keep our zooming and keep our show working behind the scenes. So it is certainly appreciated, and it goes 100% into our show. And of course, for Patreon friends of the $5 tier,
cheap.
Look at that. We did it.
Only took us 2 years to get here.
We did it. You gain access to a weekly bonus episode that we record right after this one. If you want to know, our timeline. And that is we play games, we crack wise, we have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the normal show. We got a game this week, CJ.
Oh, we sure do.
Uh-oh.
That's ominous.
That sounds ominous.
It's another game fan review quiz.
Oh no. Oh boy.
You guys are gonna love this one.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, tune in to listen to Greg and I just flounder as we try to struggle to guess what games are being reviewed based on the review text alone. Yes. It's more difficult than you might think.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like sort of a sneak peek of our after shows, CJ on Thursday nights has been posting some of our old ones. So
that's right,
from a couple of years ago. So please give those a listen.
I've been skipping the ones that were just terrible.
Oh, really?
There was one where I didn't have a quiz and didn't have a review game and did some kind of quiz off the internet, or maybe one of them was like looking back at an issue of EGM, and it was just like, it was bad. It was
really
basically
okay.
Nobody listened to this after show, so I skipped that one.
Thankfully,
only the good stuff is given to you on the main feed.
Thankfully, all we produce now is premium content.
It's pure gold.
It's always
pure. Every single one is. Now that we've been doing this for more than 2 years, they're all gold.
Now that we have standards,
we do. We have standards.
It's always top notch.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us for that, my friends. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And $5 patrons over there, get access to
also cheap
video logs. Thank you. Get access to weekly video logs.
There you go. And I guess that's it, right? CJ.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip, and happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Oh yeah, that's
you.
Yeah, the proper American Thanksgiving. We got that coming up. Short work week. I'm happy about that. And of course, everyone, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, your loved ones, your friends. Stay safe. Stay home, for crying out loud.
Stay home.
Play your new consoles.
Yeah.
if you can get them.
Yeah, if you can get. Yeah, that's the big if, isn't it?
Play your old consoles. They're fun.
Play your old con. There's all. You know what? You got a backlog.
You do.
You don't need all this new crap. You got a hell of a lot of games. I bet you haven't even maxed out your character in Rogue Legacy yet. Get working on that, man.
Get doing that.
Come on. And we will see all y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in.